You get that? Yeah.
Your LG of the open storage seat, if you want to speak, please sign up. Sign up. Sign up.
The sign-up sheets are on the table by the front door.
I'm coming. Is the senior CAD?
Yes.
It's just a little phone. Scan it. It works.
Okay. We have a forum. I'll call the meeting to order. March 20th, 2025 meeting. The board of directors of the Johnson County Central Appraisal District
just thank you for this time that we can be here today and in this county and in this state and in this country. And the freedoms that we have, we pray that we go through the guidance time to give us wisdom. In Jesus' name. Amen.
If everyone will stand and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
and now the Texas pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the United Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
And as we always, we'd like to recognize any elected officials that might be present in Region 1. Elected officials, stand up and introduce yourself. There you go.
Chris Linker, Mayor Godwin.
Anyone else? Since I started doing this, you are showing up. All right, first item is the consent agenda. That consists of 3 items. Approve the minutes of the February 20th regular meeting. Approve the financial report for February 25. And the taxpayer liaison officer's report. We will vote on these as a single vote unless the director requests that one be pulled off the discussion. And I want to go through your good report and I'll let you preach.
Okay, if you want to.
Well, some people may want to tweak it, I think it's a good way. All right, I'll entertain a motion on the
I
agenda.
have a question on the minutes. The question is on the agenda item where you were talking about and that said 2 members were absent. And then for the others, you said there were 3 members
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't cop, they just said 9 and 1 got 40.
Yeah, Mr. Willis, Mr. Modell, and Mr. Cornwall. Yeah. I can make that
Entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
Move the consent agenda.
Have a motion. And a second, all in favor? Aye. And as always, try to figure it out. As usual, we're waiting on technology. Our next item on the agenda is to approve the audit services agreement for Hankins, Eastern, Ron, and C, and Scarborough. Our auditors, Mr. Vaughn, I believe, is here. We you want to address the board?
One thing that you do,
Mr. Khan, several board members are new,
okay,
not very young, you've been here for a year. So, a little bit, and might not be
okay. We provided the district with an engagement letter for the 2024 audit. We find the responsibilities of both the district and of us as the auditors, and goes through a lot of procedures that we will do as part of the audit. Has the board seen that letter, Jessica?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have.
So, our firm has been doing the audit for Johnson County Appraisal District for 3 years. The proposed engagement would be the 4th year. We would perform the audit. We took it over in 22, 21, 22, 23, and then this would be 24. So the firm that we used prior to that was the firm out of Fort Worth. We're based in Denton. The firm that we were using in Fort Worth, I don't remember how many years they did it, it was quite a while.
20 plus?
That firm chose to quit doing audits. That's fairly common these days. There are fewer and fewer firms that want to do financial audits. Our firm does a lot of financial audits, including Johnson County. We do 3 appraisal districts. We do, in addition to Johnson County, we do Denton County and Cook County. We're based in Denton, so we've been doing Denton County since they came into existence in 1980. Is that?
About, yeah.
So we've got a lot of experience with appraisal districts. Probably our biggest area of practice is school districts. We do over 40 school districts. And then we also do quite a few cities, towns in one county. So we have a lot of governmental audit experience. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Do the directors have questions for Mr. Khan?
I don't have a question for you, but I have a comment about this.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the engagement letter identifies that one of the things that we will have to do, because your firm is not going to do it, is we have to look at the management discussion and analysis, the budgetary comparison schedule for the general fund, the schedule of changes in net pension liability and related ratios, and the schedule of employer contribution. So I just want to make sure we look at those things.
Well, I'm not sure what you're reading. I mean, we help prepare those along with Jessica and the finance staff. They're not audited because they're not part of your basic financial statements. They're what are considered supplementary information.
Yeah, but they're very important to me. And so I want to make sure that we look at them. I'm not asking you to. I'm saying that we need to look at them. And I think that it should be our budget and finance committee. And the last thing I have to ask, Greg, you just has the answer. I couldn't see it correctly. The estimate for this audit is $15,000 to $16,000, and I just wondered what would be given.
I can certainly.
But it's lumped in with a big number like $145,000.
Yeah, I can certainly look at that line.
Let me know.
Yeah, okay. I know that the quote this year is only like 1,000 more than last year.
$500 more.
Yeah, so it's really close to that.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Let me check.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Thomas, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the audit services agreement.
I know that we approve that.
We have a motion
A second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you very much. It's good to be with you tonight.
Thomas, thanks for coming.
That one, no. Your first one is
Yeah, she's on the,
Next item on the agenda is a presentation on the government software assurance. Shannon Davis.
So we're going to start out with a tell you all a little bit about who we are and what everybody's been for. CAD software, everyone is aware, it's the assessment software that the county uses to assess all of the properties. And we were there recently selected to be vendor to upgrade their technology. So I'm talk a little bit about who we are, what we have, but then talk specifically about the benefits that this technology is going to bring to the office and then also to the tax payers. So we have CAD products. We also do collections of products. We do all of the web accessories that, for example, we currently have PIF doing as part of our hosted package. So it might be a way that in the future you could save a little money there. But we also do some custom development for families. I'm going to talk about that a little further, but I'm giving some examples of things you might want to deploy in the future.
and we talked about how we might save more money by doing that.
Well, yes, I do actually have a financial slide there that talks specifically about 4 different ways that you save money. And so, GSA Canada, we have experience in 10 different states developing camera products. So the product that we have that's going to Johnson County really in just a couple of weeks. I think the ladies might print a little bit a couple of weeks, but we're outside. Is in 5 different states right now. We've got about 55 counties that are deployed on it. Now, the benefit of being in 5 different states is that we have a lot of experience in seeing other things that other states deploy. So, for example, when you all had circuit breaker year this past year, it brought a lot of young companies to their knees. There was a lot of rules filed late. It created a whole bunch of problems. We already knew how to do double tapping. We had it implemented in our systems. It was just a matter of changing settings. So the diverse experience does help you really more in what might come down the pipeline. For Texas specifically, we've been providing CAD software since 1994. The software, our original software is actually still in use at Harris CAD today. We're currently live in Hector and Smith County, and we have 6 total under contract. I'm sorry, I didn't introduce Wendy. She's our rep for the Texas area. She actually used to be a chief appraiser here in the state of Texas, so she has a lot of experience and knowledge to help our clients. We don't have any commission sales reps, so anybody that's had the sales positions there, we practice pretty good relationships between us and potential candidates and us, our clients. But what are the 6?
The 6 clients, and Greg CAD, JoCo CAD, Bell CAD, Hector, Smith, and Johnson.
And then we've got 4 in negotiations, so that's all confidential right now, but we're right now on a path to really have some accelerated growth here in Texas, which is great for your county because the more counties that we work with, the more resources they get for towards the product. We have state-specific teams, so we have a team entirely dedicated to the state of Texas. So although we're headquartered in Florida, we have a whole state that has decades of experience both on the assessment and software side in the state. All right, so this new architecture, the software that they have right now is really very old. Here on Cruise, I think it's about 25 years old at this point. It's on older technology. This is on a web application stack, and it's hosted in the cloud, so software as a service cloud, right? A web application stack just really means it's a website. So you can log into our software from anywhere. So it's highly accessible. You don't have to do installations on individual computers. Some of the benefits of that is if we have another experience with COVID where everything gets shut down, your staff is not going to be at any kind of a standstill. They'll be able to perform their jobs from wherever they are. And some of the specific benefits for the office and the office staff, one is that it's a software as a service architecture. So what that means is, I know your servers are on the end of their life cycle, so it means you no longer have to be replacing hardware. But more importantly, there isn't a whole IT department within the county that works for the assessment office. So you would be eliminating all of the consulting fees that you would have to use to have an IT professional come into your office and perform all the functions like software upgrades and just maintain those servers and everything else that goes along with it. But another key difference is the flexible valuation. So our system is different, as far as we know, from any other product available in the state, in that we can have an unlimited number of valuation techniques on a property. Now, where this is important is you all just recently changed your reval plans, and our system can accommodate those split valuation techniques that make it freeze values but still pick up all those improvements and keep track of that appropriately. In the current system, if they were going to try to accomplish that, they'd have to have complete separate databases, they'd have to have dual data entry, and a number of other factors. Data performance is another big one. When you go to recalc the system and produce your roll, it's a 20-minute end-to-end process. On the old system, this is something that you have to be closing down the system, locking everybody out for at least an entire day in order to perform those functions. But we also have a lot of tools within the system to help streamline processes. Like, for example, mass transforms. Let's say, as you're going to just update neighborhoods, or if you're doing projects, if you guys are doing some audits and that type of thing, doing some projects to clean up data and streamline data, you can do those in mass transforms. We have the ability to write a snippet of code that your folks can say, okay, we're looking at neighborhoods, we need to be able to change neighborhood codes in this master area. They can create that transform form, they can do them all in mass. And we also have workflow. So I know there's been some retirements and some other things going on recently that has reduced the data entry staff in the office. So workflows help automate that process. If you have multiple people that are involved in a task, it can automatically pick up a workflow, and instead of calling somebody or passing a note, it shows up as a task for them as a user within the system. So it streamlines all of those processes that touch multiple people. And what you probably care about more would be the benefits to the taxpayers. One of them is improved data quality. So now that you're down data entry folks, that's a risk, right? It's a medical risk to the county. We have a number of things in place to help make sure that that data is as strong as it can possibly be. For example, we have what we call complete and valid checks, that when you go to save a parcel, it has a custom list, and it will be custom to Johnson based on the types of things they experience, that will do automatic checking as it's saving. And if there's things that aren't correct, like a silly example, let's say you have an elevator in a one-story house, it'll pick that up and not let that person save that property until they fix that particular area. TrueRoll, which I think you're all familiar with, a company that you're using for homestead fraud auditing. Yeah, the verification. Yeah, the verification. So we have a complete integration with TrueRoll that brings the power of the data that they're finding for you to the CAMA side. And what that means is like you can mass send letters, but TrueRoll is shifting their focus as a company, their philosophy as a company. It really started out as a fraud detection service, looking for people who had homestead fraud. They're shifting now into, okay, let's look for people in the community that maybe qualify for an exemption, but they haven't applied. And be able to send them, a letter, a convenience letter, and say, hey, we think you might actually qualify for this senior exemption, you should contact our office. For workflow and flags.
Do we do that at all? Today,
No. Today you don't really have a good means to identify those folks. So because they're going out to check all those data sources, you now have the means to identify the folks, and on the CAMA side, you have the means to action against that. The workflow and flags, like we talked about workflow before, but this is like communication. So, and I'm going to show you how our maps are sort of integrated in a second. But let's say you have a bunch of flooding in the county, and you know that there's a good area of people that really should be coming in to report flood damage. You can go to your map, draw a circle around that area, send it back to CAMA as a list of residents, and with a click of a button, print out all the letters and send those folks a letter to say, hey, you should contact our office. We think you might have storm damage on your property. And then last one that I want to mention is constituent engagement. So we developed an app, Homestead app primarily, first for Harris CAD, that taxpayers can, with their phone, they can take a picture of their driver's license front and back. And if the data on that driver's license matches the data in the system, it automatically grants that homestead without anybody touching it immediately. And we evolved that app to also then include storm damage. So if you have a flooding event, all your taxpayers can just download that app and take pictures of all of their storm damage and submit them through the application itself. Okay, so financially advantageous items from Solari. The software as a service comparison. So there's really only two companies in the state of Texas that have a true web application set that offers software as a service, and it's us and one of our competitors called TrueCom. And we have plenty of examples and contracts that we can show you all, but right now, with your maintenance and a fully hosted solution with software as a service, so eliminating your hardware, eliminating all of your consultants, it's almost half of what their market rate is right now for software as a service. Johnson's had a great plan to us for several years, so we gave you all, it's really a deal that nobody's ever going to see again in the state, to come on board and to be part of some of our original clients that we were by. I'm blind as that, so I can't do this. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and just also, is, like, for one of the other things that we granted your county as a food safety measure was your current system has changed ownership a few times. And you don't have access to the source code for that system. So in our contract with Johnson County, should we ever cease to do business, should like expels or any of those things happen, you have access to that source code. So if you're not completely hamstrung by a company who's going to say you're no longer supporting it, you have to upgrade it, it's going to cost us. And so another huge benefit for us is that we have a model of all-inclusive software subscriptions. All of our competitors in the state, they charge for individual modules. So they'll say, here's your assessment, then you pay more for sketch, and you pay more for soap ratio, and you pay, like every single different module that's available. In our world, everything that's available you get. And that includes what's available today, but then also what's available in future development. One of the important bits about that is our team is really made up of true technologists. It's not just people who know whole software. So we're starting to really get into things like AI, and then also autonomous workflow, like I was telling you how we automatically grant those homesteads, trying to find ways in your office to increase the efficiency so that it's a better experience for the taxpayer and you all can save money on the things that you have to put toward it. So all of this investment that we're making, we do have an AI-based product, by the way, where we automatically pull and scrape off some of that information and processing ownership changes. But that's kind of our first foray. But the strategy for that AI technology is to look for any piece of paper that is delivered to your office. So a homestead application, a BPT return, There's no reason why we can't continue to focus and build out so that we can scan the documents, pull off the pertinent data, and streamline that process of your folks having data entered into the system, and also reduce the amount of errors that are going to happen, right? We just take out that human error.
And your system will scrape that off.
Right now, we do the feeds, and so that's our first, and then on our 5-year roadmap, it's to continue to expand to all these other areas that are coming into the office. And to look for more ways to use autonomous workflow, we can validate data. There's no reason that you need a person to validate that data. And then the last one, and this is a big one, this is where a lot of counties get stuck. We don't limit the amount of help desk tickets or the amount of help that your folks ask for. Typically, in contracts that we've seen, it's like 7 tickets for an entire year. So 7 times the office is to ask for help. So when we're giving people live, it's a lot to change the canvas. So that is the backbone of that office. And you're retraining a lot of people on modern technology that have been using really old technology for a long time. So our philosophy is really, we just want to get you guys live. We want you to be successful, and we're going to do what it takes to get there because we're looking at the long term of our relationship. And I know, when it comes up, you guys are going to be working on your budgeting. One of those is that I know this year you didn't budget for some of the software as a service. So I'm going to be working with Brittany to say, okay, let's figure out how we can get you guys self-hosted because financially it doesn't make any sense for you to buy all of that equipment when the software as a service really is about a model. And in the end, it's cheaper. The equipment plus the person you have to hire to run it is going to be at least double of what we were charging. So it's $48,000 for all of that and all the equipment, a year. So we're going to be working really tight at issues going through our next budget process to make sure that you're able to get the best out of it.
That'll be in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
work with her.
Yes.
Yes.
Short term, we're going to do what we need to so that you guys can use this newer model because it doesn't make it's a huge lift to buy equipment for us, even all set up so you can host it for you to have a consultant come and learn the technology, only to shift back to the consumer. So we're going to work with you because we're really focused on the long-term partnership. So I was just going to show you some of the toys. So we are an enterprise solution. There's a lot of companies that make a really good living as CAD accessory providers, like Apex Sketch, they build sketch tools. We have a really good sketch tool. This is one of the most recent things that we added, where your folks can bring in builder's drawings and just sketch over the drawing so that they can really reduce the amount of time that it takes them when they're going to do subdivision. And this is our GIS interface. So the data itself, really what this is doing is helping you visualize your Canada data in a map form, right? So there's all these different layers. You can see like on the right, you can turn on and turn off. The layers in the middle are your mapping layers. So where the streets are, where flood zones are, all that good stuff. The layers on the bottom is where your Canada data is. You can even do things like, hey, show me throughout the county all of the properties that are homesteaded so that I can sort of look for areas where you would expect there to be more, but there's not, and kind of go investigate those areas. And then you can turn the layers on and off. We have a new feature where you can superimpose the building sketches over the map image. So it helps you do a better job of when you get new maps, in a year of knowing where there's some improvements that you need to take out to make that property burn. Okay, sales ratio, I know this is a lot, but we have a lot of tools that the point of this is it's a completely interactive experience with your data. So when you're looking at sales ratio studies, just to make sure that you're within the right range where those properties should be. Anytime you make a change to include or exclude a property, it's automatically going to change all of your ratios. It's going to show you what properties should or shouldn't be included, and it can automatically calculate and deploy what those neighborhood adjustments should be based on like your maps. Because when you were going through your maps review, you need to have these pretty tight so that you can make sure to pass that maps review. And we also,
Is it possible that we could provide that data if we decide to the taxpayer?
Yeah, all of it, it's your data. You can do whatever you want with it. If you wanted to, the sales ratio would be available on the website, but that's a lot. You really have to know what you're looking at. So it'd be more probably what would be really applicable would be to say, hey, in your neighborhood, here's the ratio.
Yes, we make reports.
Yeah, exactly. And as an enterprise provider, we also do have a field device. And I know at least it was recently, a couple of years ago, all we're still going out with paper. So this is a really big step forward in leveraging new technology. We built it all over the top of Google Maps because Google Maps works both connected and disconnected, whereas your GIS stuff has to be connected with an internet connection the whole time. There's some advantages in Google Maps in that you can go down and do the street view of the property if you wanted to see. You can turn on the satellite images, you can zoom in, zoom out. But what you're seeing right here is basically your assessor's work list. So you see the two at the top are yellow. That's because your appraiser, your field appraiser has visited those two properties already. So if he wants to work his map, how he wants, he can see where he's been, go back on his big properties where he missed something and see exactly where he's going. And if you've got somebody sort of new to the job, that last one here, we also can use the Google Map routing, so it can optimize their route like while they're in the field. And that was really all I brought. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about us, our business philosophies, and the management things, what's important, and just some part of it. So, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, much.
Yeah.
Okay, question one. This is a really complex system.
Yes, it is.
And do you all feel comfortable using it right now?
We have to go through training first, but yeah.
We've been seeing business uses for years. Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
So, the question I want to ask you is, what is your training program? Can you be specific and outline progression?
Yeah.
Because that's the big killer.
Yes.
In learning the software.
User adoption.
Okay, hang on, let me talk. Okay, you've outlined about 3 or 4 features that will be new and improved in your product. Those 3 or 4 features are confusing people. So I need to know what you plan, what your company has as far as training. Because having a help desk is great. I worked at help desk and ran a help desk on a very large corporation for 10 years in my career. And the main thing we would curse is the training. Because that's what drives people to the help desk, is bad training. So go ahead, push me on that.
So the first would be, as you mentioned, they've been seeing this product kind of all along. Our first pillar in training is we do what we call a workshop method. We don't do the style method where we go into an office and we're going live and have that be the first time anybody's seeing it and training it. So we go through every functional area of the system and show them how that works in our system, and then talk about how their current business processes work to make sure that we're not missing anything. So as we're going through all those workshops, the departments are seeing how the job is being done. They're able to ask questions, we're able to look for anything that we need to adjust so that they can do their jobs better and easier. But you really increase the user adoption because there isn't that overwhelmed sense when people do get to the software and the do you want me to go into that question?
No.
Okay, the in-person training, once we're then ready to come on site, we have first, they go through balancing. So we sit down with you at the different levels of the office and demonstrate that the numbers do match and that the values are good so that you're not getting off the bad data, right? And then we do 2 types of training in the office. We have classroom style, which is typically going to be, let's do a general overview of the system and talk about how you navigate. It's a general idea because we use the same navigation techniques throughout all the different modules. And then we sit down and do desk training with each individual. And we will literally go to the deeds department and sit down and say, okay, pull out a deed. We ask them to hang on some more. And we sit at their desk and show them how to process that deed so that we know each individual in the office knows how to do their job.
Okay, if we onboard a new employee, how is that normally handled?
A lot of times it's train the trainers, but if they need any help beyond that, because we'll have like super users, like generally these roles that are going to be a resource in the office to help some of the folks and managing that kind of thing. If they need additional assistance though, we do Zoom for that. So especially usually for the first 6 months at least, we have a weekly call between our client services department and every county that goes live, and that's their time to say, what do you need? Like, do we need to do some special training? Are you seeing something? Do you understand what's happening? And so that also gives them the power to say, do you help us, right? Like, see the tickets. big thing for them to prioritize that.
Is your help desk interactive? Can they step in and help, directly so that they can see what?
Yeah, we use Zoom, and we're also actually right now in the middle of deploying a interactive. Yeah, I can't remember the word. There's a start out with ARB, right? Like it's a pre-selected Zoom product. It's like a white label, so that you can auto attach, any ARB hearings. You can conduct those hearings, electronically, virtually from the system. But our help desk will also be able to conduct help desk include those virtual sessions as well.
Okay, the other thing, the second question, security. Since it's going to be an online product, then that means that, data that should be protected, may or may not be, whether your security is on something.
Yeah, it's an SSL, so it's protected both in transit and at rest. And then we have some companies that then also implement a site-to-site VPN. We also have a number of other security protocols that we can implement, for example, password protection. So the office has the ability to say, has the characters have to have social security. We can implement it with OAuth, so it's single sign-on. We have a lot of options that sometimes it comes into what technology is currently used in the office and what makes sense to implement some of those tools. But we have a number of different security protocols. One of the big ones from a security standpoint, if you don't mind me going off on a little bit of a tangent. Okay, so we have we have what we call a hybrid hosting solution. So one of the reasons why we are more economically affordable is because our hosting center is in Florida. We built our own, all of our own equipment, everything. So it's a less expensive model. AWS is really expensive to scale it to work, across some kind Yes. So, but we have a full backup in Azure. So every time there's a log change in our SQL databases, all of the data gets pushed up to Azure at rest. Okay, but it is a one-way push. So if your office were to get hacked, if our office were to get hacked, all of that data just recently, as 5 minutes ago, is in Azure, and we can immediately transition to an Azure environment. So,
if there is a data breach, which there always is, it's literally constant. Now, do you have any guarantees of rebuild time or and also uptime on your service?
We do have uptime. Right now, we're operating at 99.995%, which is better than AWS or Azure over the course of the last 5 years consistently. And it takes, in order to get our entire client base transitioned from our physical servers up to Azure, would be about 2 hours. Like if it was a catastrophic, let's say the building is long, I'm for it. It's really take about 2 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
And we also have data breach insurance, by the way.
Oh, good. We're making our way well down the punch list here. Let's see. So this deal will differ from our great deal that we got before.
I'm sorry.
You said you got a great deal before,
Yes.
but now we've got a new product.
No, this is what you purchased. What you are paying for this product is less than half of the market rate right now.
Okay.
So you stay there, and there's going to be increases to do with CPI and inflation, right? But it's off of this level. It's not like we're going to say, okay, we're going to have to double your price, and then it's going to increase.
And that's written into the contract, the escalation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. And then, you should sort of.
I'll double check on that.
Yeah, that's one thing, yeah.
It's 55
Needs to be the software.
You're speaking right.
Has to be in the software business too.
Yeah.
And we had some obvious escalations.
Yeah.
Because we could.
Yes, I have
seen that, but I have seen lots of contracts with, from the same company with different increases on different contracts that are crazy. 25% increase.
Yeah. You actually have one change, it was 112%.
So far, we have never had to increase a contract by more than 6%. that was the year where the inflation was like 13 or something insane. So
Okay, yeah,
we only very conservative.
Yeah, and then, if you need a pre-commission committee, you go through the contract, just look at it. And if the guru there, look at the, and then the last one, the integration of the maps. Do you have a feature that allows you to say, to point out missed properties that in an aging time on their prison?
Missed properties in that, like, you have, it's showing on your map as having,
Like 1125, got forgotten for 3 years ago.
Like unchanged value for this period of time.
Yeah, that's one.
oh, yeah, I mean, our data model is completely open, so we could easily query and say, bring us any properties that haven't changed in value for, 4 years. And it would give you a result of every single property that is in that place.
Okay, yeah. Because that's one thing that's interesting to me, is to keep the wheels rolling.
Yeah, it's harder from map data, because the map data.
So, where the data comes from,
Yeah.
right? That's easy strategy to follow, but you can just look at a whole neighborhood and go, hey, what's 25 do? Yeah, it is.
The maps are great though, as that proved result, you're saying here's 20 properties that haven't changed in the last 12 years, and then you can pull up the map and be like, there's a house on that property.
Yeah, that's just exactly what I'm looking for, is that the house is there, or it's no longer there, because it was, demolished or something like that.
Absolutely, depending on how current maps are being accepted.
Okay, and then, so are we responsible for the maps that are loaded?
Right now, your maps are being posted to BIS, I believe. So if you kept posting on the BIS, so we would connect your map service to them and consume that data to then publish it and show it on the camera systems.
Actually,
We have a service that we would provide, and that way you would have basically live.
Yeah, and it's the same thing, there's like consume your map data, you can do it live, like it's on a live connection, some people just do an update like every night, yeah, she's supposed to be on that kind of thing. We've got like 5 or 6 different configurations, because we work with clients, we service clients anywhere from 5,000 parcels to 2 million parcels. So there's a pretty big range in the technology that's available within an office, so the approach to help them connect their technologies can vary widely.
Okay, and then you guys work
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah.
Okay. What haven't I asked its employees?
They have my cell phone number and your phone number.
Okay, look at that statement.
It is.
What was that? Okay.
Well, I think that the other thing that I would say is Reading Where You Go live in a couple of weeks as a company. We've been providing campus solutions since 1994. We've done projects in the entire state of Maryland. We have never failed an implementation ever.
That was.
Johnson will not be our first.
Just kidding. I'm not a state.
No, I told her, Texas, we don't fail.
Yeah, exactly.
Texans, we don't fail, and Johnson will not be our first.
Good. Okay. Well, I'm done with my questions. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Just verify, again, that it does work with social media and,
Yes.
capital appraisal.
Yes, we already have the data exports built for them, so those are currently in use in other counties, so that'll just be a plug and play solution.
Another question, Rick. Do you anticipate this will reduce the workload?
We're hoping that we'll maybe shift some, yeah.
Will we have experience to see that come up to time?
Yeah, they're only gonna be about 6 weeks in, so.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be more work, but we're hoping that we can shift some of that data entry onto, having appraisers out there in the field and then actually doing the work. Do it right there. See, right now, they bring it back on their iPad, they have to work everything, download it, they send it to data entry enters it. Yeah, so it's a lot of double
almost double more.
Will there be a period of dual entry? I know a lot of times with financial systems or ERP, you're running both systems for a period of time.
Yes, we will definitely do that.
Yeah.
It's usually more of a training mechanism. You know, the risk with dual entry, which we've done that in ERP, is the human error and the possibility that they're going to miss making a change in one system or the other is extremely high. So we do recommend the offices take a point at which they say, okay, we're ripping off the Band-Aid, we're going to forget.
Yes.
Yeah, you usually don't have to have power to do it.
Yeah, that's why it's the word.
Yes.
But in training, a lot of times, if we have somebody who's struggling, we'll go through the process of, okay, show me how you do it in your current system. And then let's walk through how we do it in our system. Because it helps the trainers to see, what steps are they going through so that they can put it in context and understand how to do it.
And one thing I didn't mention is that we also have a wiki of information for them to log into. I am not technical. I have people. BIS was my people, and I will call them. But the wiki, it has step-by-step instructions, which I have had to use and learn the system. It has recorded videos on how to do specific things. So besides the training and the cell phone and the customer service calls, they also have resources where if it takes, a written document, they can go read and do that and have it step by
So
step.
we use our user manual, because the actual, last year we deployed 796 new features to our system based on client requests. Some of them were little, like we wanted extra field here, some of them were big, like they really wanted to change the behavior of how the field app worked in a specific way, right? So keeping up a written manual when you're evolving your product that rapidly is very realistic. So we use the wiki as the online repository, and all of our team contributes towards that. So for example, I host what we call Texture Tuesday once a month, where sometimes we go over what the new release was so that people can understand what's in the release. Or sometimes somebody will submit a topic that they think would be a good idea to do touch-up training for the entire community. And all of those videos are available on the wiki as well. And we title them so that they can search by subject and all of this.
Any other questions?
Already rolled out.
Thank you very much. This is a great presentation.
I'd like to have the doctor.
Yeah, I appreciate your guys' time. I know that I'm ready to get home tonight, so
Thank you, well done.
It sounds like once you get past the transition phase, and the learning curve, just has a lot of changes all across.
And we do find, like, we've had, in the office had a ton of turnover, and so most of their staff were like 20s, 30s, and they were only there for training for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the folks that are starting on the days, we've been using the same system for 25 years, but we have some of the most patient systems we have ever met. So it'll be fun.
We would not be good students.
They've already got demonstrated
Yes.
technology challenge we are.
There's a reason she laughed when I said I was Texas.
I know. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda is to approve the board of directors meeting policy change. Our last meeting, we decided to change our meeting effective April, the remainder of the year to second Thursday. But that requires a vote, so I entertain a motion on that to change the meeting.
I have a question first. Is that the only thing that changed in this policy?
It's the only thing I changed.
So the question, the following question, why do we still say in there that everybody needs to go to 109 North Main Street to get disabled person parking?
The board hasn't instructed me to change it.
I know exactly, that's the point,
Okay.
that's the point. When we make changes on things, I'd rather make all the changes at one time.
Good point. We can make all the changes.
Yes,
So next meeting, but for tonight, we can vote to change this.
Yeah, can we go like this? I will move that we adopt this new board of directors meeting policy with the addition of, tell me what I did, we're removing the segment that says parking spaces for disabled persons are provided in front of the office there. As long as I'm working, yeah. So I just did. I need to.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the next item on the agenda, item 5, is to approve the expansion of the appraisal review board from 10 members to 12 members. That will be an additional 2. Anything to present on that? We discussed it last month.
Right, Ms. Ellen, gave you reasons why she thought it was important last week, so.
Anything to add? It was just give more flexibility in the assignments and scheduling and so forth.
I know that we accept the resolution.
We did have one member that resigned.
But that doesn't affect this.
That's the next item.
Okay.
All right, so item 5, expansion of the ARP to 12.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I should have read the resolution. Would you like to hear the resolution? Understand? Okay. Resolution increasing the ALB members on the appraisal review board. Whereas the board of directors believes that due to the hardship it places on the appraisal review board members when a member of the board is absent due to out-of-town travel or other business obligations, which would prevent the absent member from participating in appraisal review board hearing. And whereas based on this hardship, taxpayer liaison officer and the ARB chairman have requested the board of directors to increase the appraisal review board to a 12-member board, whereas the board of directors hereby finds that this proposed increase is appropriate and needed, and now therefore be resolved by the majority of the members of the board of directors of the Central Appraisal District of Johnson County, pursuant to Texas Property Tax Code section 6.41 B1, that the appraisal review board be increased to not more than 12 members. I should have read that before we voted. With that, we've had a individual, we've had a resignation. I have another resolution here I'll read. Whereas the board of directors in previous meeting is designated the below listed members as members of the appraisal review board, said members in the terms of office are stated below. There are 5 members that we elected in the last meeting, all of them for 25-26 term. Tricia Myers, Kimberly Jones, Myra Nance, Jay Rapp, and Russell Stratton. And whereas the board of directors has expanded the number of appraisal review board positions to 12, and is needing to fill the unexpired term of the vacancy, the board hereby appoints the following to the appraisal review board and sets their respective terms as follows. So we picked one person that would complete the unexpired term to run through the end of this year, and 2 people to have the term through 25 and 26. So, and we had, everybody got a list of candidates.
I put it in the packet.
Here we go.
So were all these candidates interviewed originally last month?
Last month.
They're all the same from my day.
Yeah, I also received an application last Thursday, and it was checked into the CAD office with Peter Range.
I sent that to
Oh,
Ms.
thank you. Okay.
But it's people in this.
Sure, you can. We didn't identify a cutoff. So, you submitted the application before we wrote it. So, your name is added.
You all have the application, and it was submitted timely, and it came to the set.
Right.
I have seen, I don't know anybody else.
I can those out and make sure.
Yeah. We all did. Yeah, it was.
I said it to you,
That's the name of the office.
yes, yes. All three of these candidates have to be approved by the Tina and Larry.
Correct.
Yes.
That's my son.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna take a 10-minute break for restrooms.
What about snacks?
Did you bring it up for everyone?
No, I'm you guys can bring up. I'm hungry next time.
I know.
Thank you. How are you? Good to see you. See you too. Who's this guy behind you? He knows his trouble. Sure. I'm glad you figured it out. I'm so here. I know. Shit's stupid. This is my wow. It's great.
I texted you.
There you go.
He said you might better die. And then it would let next time,
Next item on the agenda is point 3, members of the ARB. We have the list that we had before, plus one, we had an application from Peter Rich. So, according to the statute, at least 2 of the 3 elected officials, directors, have to agree. So basically, a veto power. So, given that, what I'm going to want to do is we will first pick the person to fill out this 1-year term through the end of this year, and then we'll go back and pick the 2 that will serve 2 years. Anybody okay with that? Okay. So with that, I think we'll do a voice vote.
No.
Start with Larry, you place 1 and I'll with your, who would be your candidate for showing up this 1 term?
Unexpired term.
Yeah, that's
I vote for Peter for the unexpired.
okay. Dan? Okay, so, Brandon? John?
Peter Rich.
Another Peter Rich. Yes. Peter Rich will fill the remainder of the unexpired term filling in for. Okay, now we have to select 2 people to, let's do it one at a time. Oh, that's true. I do have a secret request from Stephen Lee. We have 3 minutes to introduce yourself to the board. And Mr. Lee was a candidate to the ARB, was not able to attend last month's meeting. This will be our first chance to hear from you.
Thank you. My name is Edward Stephen Lee. I go by E. Stephen Lee in the legal profession. I've been an attorney for about 33 years. The last 30 years, I've been in admiralty and taxation practice. Of the last 20 years, I've been with the firm, Purdue Brandon Law Firm, and I recently retired in January of last year. And I found that retirement time was cracked activity, so I want to interject myself into local government or activity that's going on. So that's why I propose to go ahead and submit my application to serve on the board. A little personal background, I graduated Killeen High School in 1971. My father was a military man. I was born in Germany. I've traveled all over. But again, for the last 30 years, I've been here in Texas. And before Purdue, I worked for a firm, E.G. Navarro. She was a solo practitioner. And that was my first opportunity to be introduced to Johnson County because I represented Rio Vista ISD and also some districts in Hill County. That probably goes back 20 years, 25 years. But anyway, since then, I have been the managing partner of the Conroe office. I oversaw the staff of about 5 or 6 legal assistants and interacted with a lot of superintendents, chief appraisers, all throughout Southeast Texas. I recently moved up here with my wife, who has family up here. That was the main reason why I moved to Grandview, because I expected to reside in Grandview. I had commuted for 2 or 3 years, and got tired of that, back and forth between Conroe and Grandview. And so I did finally retire in January of last year, and consequently, I'm ready to get back into the mix of things. So I'll be happy to answer any questions that y'all may have.
Yes, sir. Yeah, what would be the downside to hybrid?
The downside,
You stopped me there. Fair enough. Thank you very much. Any questions?
all right, so before, we're rolling out the first person for the full 2-year term.
Edward, sit in here.
Mr. Lee.
There's no downside, Mr.
You say that now. Contemplating abstaining, but I will also vote for Mr. Lee. It's unanimous. And then we have one additional opening for a full 2-year term. And the citizen elected, good to go.
I vote for Rebecca Jenkins.
Are you being one?
Director Lingo.
Rebecca Jenkins.
There we go, Rebecca, elected, unanimous. So Rebecca Jenkins, Stephen Lee, Stephen Lee.
Yep.
Will serve a 2-year term. Peter Rich will serve out the remainder of the 1 2-year term. Person.
Just like to make it out to the public comment meeting, I'm worried about all you copying my vote. Give it on the last.
The next item on the agenda,
Yes, I voted.
Vice Chair.
On the sheet, the way every members.
Jessica.
Yes, I want to hear.
All right.
First time I've ever been at Anderson meetings.
Oh, yes. All right. Signs. Next item on the agenda, item 7, the appraisal review board organization. We need to appoint a vice chair. And next month, we will appoint a chair, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So we only have vice chair. I have one speaker. Speak on this agenda item. Kimberly Jones.
Hello again. Kimberly Jones. I lived in Texas for 5 years, and my leadership experience got pumped up 40 years ago when this young man was born. I'm a mother of 5 and grandmother of 10. I've been an educator, advocate, and realtor for 19 years. I served on the board of directors of the local association, and I've taken a number of leadership roles. It is very important to me that I've seen the transparency we've had, and to be on the appraisal review board is something that is very close to my heart. I love to see this coming together of government and constituents, because we all have to do well, or we all don't do well together. So since I'm the only person, I'm not going to go extensively like all our other solo speakers did. So, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. All right, so.
No, for officer positions, it's just a simple majority vote.
All right, so we need a majority of 5 for
For this board members, right?
this board president.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 of the 6 present. Is anyone else that wants to step forward and offer their services as vice chair before I call for a vote. Okay, then I'll go around the table, Brandon.
And Jim?
Kendall Jones.
This looks fishy, but we're going to have all of that. Kimberly Jones, congratulations. You might be- Okay, next item on the agenda is to appoint a director to fill the remaining term of Jim Copper, who was registered to fill an accident in December. That takes a vote of 5 directors to appoint. Do we have speakers on this? The first speaker to sign up is Greg Cooper.
Good evening, board. Thank you for serving, and once again, Michelle, remember Jim Coughlin and all the work he put in to sign on this. So I come today in front of you guys with a heavy heart. I know most of you. I've worked with a lot of you, and I spent an exorbitant amount of time, as did the majority of the people behind me, and a ton of people in Johnson County, to help you guys all get in the positions you're in. It was a grassroots movement. A lot of energy and time was spent with the citizens going to the political subdivisions or working with the legislature to try to change the dynamic of how the Central Prejudice Board of Directors is seated. And traditionally, as everybody knows, it was seated by political subdivisions who really don't even have a concept of how this works. I think everybody can come to the decision of that. Some of them know a little bit more than they did. But the reality of it is after Mr. Coughlin passed, the process had to begin again. And going into school districts and watching a superintendent say that this board had reached out to them to place an individual, when an individual is here that has spent an exorbitant amount of time trying to get involved here, and an exorbitant amount of time in the political subdivisions, really leaves a bad taste in my mouth personally. Watching Superintendent Rich here very specifically say that you, Chairman Golden, on behalf of this board, went to a superintendent to place somebody who has spent very little time involved in this process is very disappointing. I don't know if there is now either he could be lying, he could be misrepresenting, but he was very clear that you guys as a board is trying to put somebody in place. And that is the opposite of how every one of you got in place. Now, maybe there is some bit of information and some knowledge that you guys have now that leads you to believe that there's another way to do this and a better way to do this. If so, hopefully that air can be cleared tonight. But watching an individual like Mr. Svensson come for an exorbitant amount of time to these meetings and be clearly involved with these meetings and clearly involved with these political subdivisions, and then watch what appears to be, according to Superintendent Rich here, you guys as a body go completely around that, really looks really bad considering everything that was going on before. So I don't know if he's lying, I don't know if he's representing accurately what happened, but it looks really bad. That happened on February 17th, and it's public record on GovI's YouTube page. Thank you.
Wait a minute, I want to respond to this. You alleged that I contacted him. I did not contact him.
I did not say that. I said, I don't know what happened. He said he did.
I did not.
Okay. Why are you yelling
That
at
on the
me?
record, I did not contact him.
Why are you taking an aggressive tone with this?
He did.
I can't hear.
He did contact me, and what I told him, I had one vote, that I'm not going to speak to the board, and I'm not going to speak about who I prefer. I did not tell him who I would vote for. I did not ask him who he would recommend I vote for. I just took his call, and that was it. And what he said in Godly, I don't know.
I did. I was there.
I don't care.
Okay. You should.
I was not, but I did not call him.
Okay. On record, the YouTube channel it clearly states that he spoke to you, and you told him that this board wanted Mr. Fennell in place, or wanted somebody, a clone of Jim Cockrell, so you were recommending him. He said it numerous times. So he's misrepresenting you, and I clearly said I don't know what happened. He very well could be lying. I did say that, so please don't take an aggressive tone of concern, because I didn't accuse you of anything. I said he could be lying, because I don't know what happened. I know what he said because I was there, and I know because there's a YouTube channel I watched it right before.
What I said to him, and I want everybody to hear this, I consider Jim Cockrell to be an ideal candidate for this board.
He was.
That's it. But I didn't know at the time who was going to be nominated. And I didn't know who had been nominated. And I just said, to me, Jim was an ideal candidate. We're going to miss him. But whoever they nominate, we will get full consideration. And we all have a vote. And I never ever represented myself, represented the board. I did not do that to anyone, to anything.
It would be nice to see this board write a letter to him, because he's misleading his trustees. He's misleading his trustees. He's misleading them.
Okay, just tell me.
I apologize if I offended you. I was very clear that I don't know.
I'm offended, but not by you. Thank you for bringing it to my attention.
Yes, sir. I have a question now. The question is that, I'm confounded and sad that the difference that this is a cohesive board, because I have not asked any of you how you're voting. I have not, I've asked a couple of questions of people on the board, who is this person that you know? And I don't know of any other instance where others have had inclusive activity, not as a forum, but even as single person on person. I do see how kerfuffles begin and end. I do say this whole other side of politics saying,
Well, let me be clear. If I came across that I was insinuating y'all did this, it would, I did not, that wasn't my intent. I thought I was clear about it. I don't know what happened. You could be lying. This is what he said. So,
Yeah, what I would say is I strongly recommend reducing the
Yeah.
That is not, because I guarantee, I never told him anything.
I haven't spoken to anyone on the board about
Right.
any of the candidates.
I'll
I
say
would
this.
say maybe somebody interested in our session and maybe we should.
yes, thank you for your attention.
I will tell you, I listened to that tape, which you're absolutely positive said that you, by name, said that the entire board wants him to vote.
And that's an explanation I have.
And what I said, we need some more. That you can't do this.
No, he is not a dictator.
Right.
He is not, doesn't have the ability to say things that are unsubstantiated.
If the, any individual board member wants to send letters or make calls, that's well within your ability to do, but a board action would require an action item. So we'd have to wait till the next.
Makes sense.
Yeah, well, then I move that we put it on the board of commissioners.
Again, I apologize if I came across the keys. Sorry, that was not good. I was not trying to do it.
Next speaker is John Cornell.
Mr. Chairman, board members, staff, my name is John Fennell. Happy to be here. Thank you all for your service. Politics is fun. This is tough. This is a tough role. I was nominated multiple entities for this role that you're considering tonight. I think that the reason that I was nominated is because of my experience serving within one of those entities. I was a trustee for Cleveland ISD for 9 years. About 5 years of that I spent in Texas trying to encourage our legislatures with the help of the Texas Association of School Boards and the leadership team completely revise their findings. That's really what it's all about. That has nothing to do with what you guys do. You know, what's the law is the law. What the board does is make sure that this organization is as efficient, effective as possible, and complies with all those laws and rules and regs. And that in and of itself is difficult. I'd love to do this simply to learn this side of the equation. Spent a little time in Texas. I'm not going to claim to be an expert in any of this finance stuff. Certainly not an appraiser. I am a builder. My background is IT. Retired IT consultant turned builder here locally. Was born in Cleveland, but didn't live here until 2006. Family has roots here, and we came back home. So I see this as an opportunity to help in an area that may benefit. Certainly, it's benefiting from all of you guys, and if I can help contribute to that and be part of this team, I'd love to do it. So I'm here basically to introduce myself, be available for any questions.
Any questions, Mr. Fidel? Next, we got Peter Spencer.
Mr. Chairman, fellow board members, I've been with over 50 years. I've served on community, I've served on several committees. And I've watched very carefully how the CAD board works, how the taxing system works. I've read numerous books on use pattern, on all kinds of things pertaining to how people should be tax fairly. I support the school board and the fact that I raise money every year. I raise $1.3 million that goes to the school teachers here in Cleveland ISD. But like you, I will support the school bond by voice. I the knowledge and information that I find to be recommended. I don't look for schools, I don't look for achievement. And I'm a builder as well. I would dare say no one in town has ever built nicer, better properties than I have. Wherever I go into a build, I love to live that area. But I also have a concern for many landlords that if they were overtaxed, everyone would have to move out of their properties. And so I try to keep an equal balance. And I, every landlord in town, apartments and everything. And I know what the correct rent should be, and according to what the correct taxation should be. I never thought I'd be standing there saying that I wanted to be on the CAD. And as you know, I've been here, maybe hurt my feelings, but I've talked about the Texas Property Code, the 16th Amendment. I've seen where taxation is illegal, square footage is unequal, and people, when one complex is $40 a square foot, and another one is $275. That isn't following the state rules of the state of Texas. So I read up on that stuff. And I'm prepared and ready to serve with your board members because I understand the stagnation of sales in this county are due to overtaxation and higher insurance rates. You can check with any realtor, and I know I'm right on that. So until we bring everything and harness it into equal and fair for all concerned, we're standing in this county. I appreciate your vote. If you choose to vote for me, and I promise you I'll do it right, fairly, and according to the law. Thank you very much. Okay, so do you have any questions?
Yes.
Yes, John.
Are you currently in an adversarial role with the Central Prison District?
No, I cleared that up. Unfortunately, I've had to sue them 2 times to get my rates where I'm senior living
for people that are retired, and I'm getting taxed over their ability to pay. So I was not fair for my renters, and fair for me, but I settled that lawsuit, and I paid everything's up to date. Is that correct, Ms. Marine? Yep. So no problem. Mr. Woodbury. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Tim Davis, our third candidate that is nominated for the council.
Good evening, Board, Chairman. My name is Tim Davis. I'd like to ask for your support as a new member of the CAD Board who's going to be appointed this evening. I'm not a politician. I'm not a public speaker. I'm not someone who campaigns for such appointments. But I am a citizen and an active member in our community, and I have a vested interest in Johnson County. My wife and I purchased our property in 1992. We built our home there in 1994. We raised 2 daughters, and now we're surrounded by grandkids, so we're blessed beyond measure. We started our business in 1998 in Burleson, Texas, that we still own and operate today. And we're active in our community and in the county. Ladies and gentlemen, the one thing that we all share or have in common is that we all get to pay taxes. Whether they're income taxes, sales and use taxes, or property taxes, we all have to pay our part. It's my understanding that the CAD Board has gone through some significant changes in recent months, and what I understand about those changes is it's been good for Johnson County. No one that I know, including myself, wants to incur taxes that are not based on fair and accurate appraisals. If by serving on this board, I could help Johnson County residents and business owners know that their appraisals are being done in a manner that is consistent, accurate, and transparent, I would be more than willing to make that happen to the best of my ability. I currently serve on the board of directors for the Chisholm Trail 100 Club, and I've been an active member of that organization since 2012. Lastly, as a business owner for 26 and a half years, I understand the importance of working with budgets, planning and organizing, negotiating contracts, managing employees, and solving my customers' problems with cost-effective solutions. I believe that those skills could be used to help this board function effectively and efficiently, and I'd be glad to offer my assistance by accepting your vote to serve on the CAD board. Thank you for your time and consideration, and have a good evening. Do you have any questions for me?
Questions?
Yes, I do.
Yes, sir.
Do you consider yourself to be an activist?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you, Davis. Appreciate it.
Yes, I would like to comment. The increments of weight and measure between all these 3 candidates is in ounces, not pounds. I'm impressed by the people we have drawn towards this goal. I would ask you to consider, win or lose, you are still invited to be active with our meetings. And most possibly, if you're not selected this time, your time will come within a reasonable amount. Because this board is expanding. And steady hands make it work. And of course, you've already proven that raising your hand is the biggest step. Thank you.
All right, we'll vote at this time. We'll do a voice vote. Starting with Potts.
Both of yours, Svensson.
Peter Svensson.
Those were some good speeches, guys. I'm going to vote for Peter Svensson.
So shall I. Peter.
And I will abstain in light of the allegations toward me. Mr. Svensson will be sworn in at the next meeting.
Congratulations.
Yeah, after you were late. There really isn't any guidelines specific code for how this is to be done. I defer to the board.
I'm having everybody on mine.
Yeah. Don't be on the objection.
Well, we have somebody good.
Oh, that's even worse.
We could swear at him, but we wouldn't know what to say.
Okay, congratulations. Next item on the agenda, item number 9, Larry Campbell requesting a copy of that board director organization.
So the reason I put this on here is, I think all of you know that back in, I think it was October of last year, our chief appraiser departed. And I thank Rick and someone for stepping up to be, chief appraiser. Since that time, though, I have tried to apply constant pressure to get a forensic system audit done. And I just have to say, officially, I am very disappointed that in those many months, in 5 or 6 months, we haven't been able to get that done. And I have said that I'm not willing to hire another chief appraiser until we get that system audit done. And so I provided information, Ryan, you'll remember, I wrote a letter to you, I wrote a letter to Mike Mizell, providing what I thought was good advice on how to get us a notification out so we can get that done. But we haven't done anything. Now, as I understand, it's being heard over to John, which I really appreciate, because this morning, I decided I would just take an hour out of my busy day, and I would go investigate all this. So I did, and I found auditors that can do this, and several of them that's all they can do is virtually. And I found out that good man right there found at least one of the same people that I found. Western.
Yeah. Which is what's part of your package today.
Yeah. But I want to recognize you. Thank you. Because this one kind of went from you. And thank you for stepping up.
Yeah. Previously, your packet should be treated like a Chinese restaurant menu. And once you do,
well, when we get to that, we'll talk about it. Because I agree with you. But we don't talk about that. So my concern is, I'm concerned whether we're organized, if we're organized the right way to be able to get things done efficiently and effectively. And I think pay more to how we set up our committees. Because before, I think, we were on committee that day, so I'm on committee, and we don't have it in staff. Well, I know when we did our committee for the reappraisal plan, frankly, I think we were very organized, and we got it done, pretty quick, turnaround. And thanks, of course, to all the folks at the CAD office, that helped us, because they helped us write a lot of details, and that helped us understand it. But I really did think we need to do a better job of organizing. We need to select the members of our subcommittees very carefully and not do what we've done so far. What we've done is we said, well, would you be interested in working on this? Would you be interested? Well, who will volunteer? Well, that's not the way I ran my company. I said, John, you're the best guy to do it, and I need you to step up and do it. And a guy like John would. John would. And so I would like to see us be more deliberate in how we set up our subcommittees. And I know it's on the agenda tonight. I didn't know my first thought about this. And so that's really, I just needed to get that out again, because I've said several times, I'm really disappointed that we haven't got this audit done. And I will say again, and for those of you who don't know it, I was named as the chairman of the subcommittee to look for and hire a new chief appraiser. And I've said over and over, and I'm steadfast in this belief, I will not do that until we get the audit done. And I talked to the gentleman at Western this morning, and he resoundingly agreed with that. He said, yes, please don't do that for your next chief appraiser. You need to give them a good basis to start on. So anyway, I'm going to steadfastly continue to say that we're not going to hire any chief appraiser which is done. I will also.
I don't think it's up to you to make a decision.
No, it's not. Well, no, it's up to me.
It's a board decision.
Yeah.
But there's room for different points of view.
Absolutely. And I'm happy with that.
And I would be considered.
And you're over here,
I would prefer to be on board at the time the consultant's working as opposed to being on product.
Yeah. Well,
So it's just a different perspective. I have too.
Yeah.
And I've been a management consultant.
Right.
And a consultant going into a consulting engagement without a person in charge presents some unusual challenges.
Well, we have somebody in charge. Brittany in charge.
Permanent person.
Yeah.
Brittany has never stepped up and said she wants to be permanent.
No.
Change that.
That you will one day. Anyway, Western said the same thing. And by the way, we found out that Western also does headhunt for professionals. But we can talk through that, and we're on the same committee, for that. And so, if you feel strongly in another way, you should come. Okay.
Anything else? Okay. Very good. We're now out of 10 subcommittee reports. We had postponed filling out some of these subcommittees for couple of directors being here, or not here again tonight.
Point of information. In reference to your previous discussion about the last thing, starting in the chief appraiser's report numbers. Online gives you what actually years swearing chief appraiser. like
This
to
is
say,
the language.
if you decide to go back and do that next.
Okay. I think we should. We have money.
Yeah, no, good.
What do we,
Definitely online.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a form, from the statute that you use for all sorts of government.
So does it mean if we wait that, our new board member won't be able to participate in this meeting?
No, it'll be sworn in.
He'll be sworn in,
Yeah, it's good, right?
and he'll already have his laptop.
We're swearing in tonight. He joins the board tonight, but he doesn't have the ability to record votes electronically. Do that.
that's what I said.
Once again,
That's right.
So I think the same people on.
And we're gonna talk about that. Next.
Yeah.
Three committees.
So y'all want, everybody agree we'll swear in tonight?
Yep.
Well, I think the audience, then they don't have to come.
Peter, are you agreeable to be sworn in tonight?
Where?
Step forward, please.
As long as he signs it in front of you,
Correct.
Okay,
then they're just fine.
okay. I state your name.
I, you want to raise my right hand? Yes. I, Peter Svensson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of
the duties of
the office of
Director
Director of the Central Appraisal District of Johnson County
of the Central Appraisal District of Johnson County
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve,
preserve,
protect, and defend
the
Constitution and laws
Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state.
so help me God.
So help me God.
All right, we need to tonight approve the budget and finance committee that we discussed last week. Amy Lingo, Randy Potts, and Larry Trammell. Did we decide who will chair the committee? Budget and finance committee.
Well, Amy asked if you would.
Amy's gonna chair. We just need a motion, a second, a vote to approve the committee.
Larry Trammell, I move that we approve the budget and finance committee with Amy Lingo as chair, to include Larry Trammell and Brandon Lott.
Second, anybody?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, Peter, you can record your vote electronically yet. We'll get around to it.
submit. Oh, all right. Okay, that's good.
Okay, next, subcommittee to approve is the communication subcommittee. That would be John, and we need 2 other members. And again, Scott and Mike are not here. Anybody want to work with John at communication committee? Please. Here. All right.
Just,
2-person committee, or anybody else want to get on the committee?
yeah.
I don't know, there's nothing wrong with it.
You're in charge.
Okay. So, now we have a motion. So I need a motion to approve that subcommittee.
All right, second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Mary, how do you feel this will? Okay, next item is subcommittee, personnel policy subcommittee. Christina and myself have volunteered.
Okay, I would like to volunteer to be on this.
Okay.
Yes, it was one of the reasons I ran originally, is to understand more about the policies and procedures, and I just think I should know how to.
Yeah.
Who wants to chair the committee?
Yes. And you are a fantastic reader.
All right, make a motion.
I move to approve the personnel policies committee with Amy Lingo as chair. Tina White as chair, and then include Amy Lingo and Glenn.
A motion, need a second.
Second.
I have a
All in favor?
question.
Okay, go
I have
ahead.
a question about the statement of the motion saying personnel policies. And I thought you were looking at all policies.
That's what we said.
You just said policies. Yeah. Would you be interested in restating that motion or
Yeah, let's do restate the motion, please.
amending it, yes?
Now, we're going to, so I move that we approve the policies subcommittee chaired by Tina White, including Amy Lingo.
A second from Sean, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, and we've got subcommittee reports. Larry, you've kind of already, reported your search committee. Anything to add to what you said previously? Okay, John, you're up for the, consultant committee.
Okay, as far as the consultant committee, yes, sir. The first thing that we need to clarify is the scope of the operation. Now, I'm giving you representative, work from everyone that has shown me interest in this, selection process. There is more work product that two of them have profit. It just has to be too back. Staple would go through. So, but this will give you, enumerated search criteria that these people go by. There should be enough information there for you to make decisions on what you want the scope to be. And I will take your information, hopefully at the next meeting, written on these, or written on your own little form, and not just on like a napkin or something like that. I want you to be able to understand what you're telling me. And then I will compile it as my executive overview and get back to the board, probably at the meeting at the next. Does that sound amenable to everybody? I have a witness.
And I know this is, there's probably a range to this answer based on how many menu items you pick. But do either of these consultants give an idea? How
You'll see it
long-
right there and look at them for.
But how long it take to do the work? Do they, is it?
It varies wildly, depending on what our desires are. And then there will be subcontractors in some cases that are involved. And then how much it taxes our resources.
Could they ask for the question?
Wow.
And the order, I look for the package kids and I don't see value.
But time, how much time?
I or.
In response to that, I can have them do that. Enumerate.
Oh,
Do you want
I'm
to, you want gross numbers or do you want, individual tax numbers? Okay. That's very easy, because, they were holding their breath until I said what I want. I will ask them on these previous quotes, which the sums have been scrupulously removed by everyone who sent it, and ask them to add that to it. And as I said, it's a bottom line number, it should be no trouble.
So do you know what we charge the Benton County CAD?
It's $9,000.
It's only this morning, it was $15,000. I don't remember.
I know. Okay. I was running down the laundry list, and that's, that's.
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff that we've talked about, a lot of times the value was $51,000. Well, but that's.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But what I asked him, the first question, I told him what our concerns were, and he said that's almost exactly the concerns that they had in Benton County when I did theirs a year and a half ago. I said, how much was it? 15 grand. Which surprised me.
That really surprises the heck out of me.
What?
Because I was asking for ballpark numbers, and it was, between 50 and $75,000.
But we'll look at all of them, but I want people to have a sense.
I think the next step, though, we got time to have a scope.
Yeah.
So, we've got.
And instead of waiting next month to get the feedback, and then wait the next month to the scope of work to the board, let me suggest.
Why don't we have a working?
We each get our feedback to John before, within a week or so, give him some time to work on the scope of it. I'll work with you on that, and we'll come back to the board next month with a recommended scope. Remember, we don't have a full month for the scope.
Oh,
So if you'll get your feedback to John, I'll email.
No, the biggest delay was getting them to respond, because, I didn't have a ability for them to fill. So yeah, they're free and finally they all gave up and gave you something they don't. But they didn't put a price tag on it. And you got a price tag, which,
So I would have given you a price tag.
it was not. And
I would trust a consultant to get the price without a scope.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I said, give me the scope if you did.
Okay, so the scope.
Yeah. Can you just pop it over and that's what I was asking for?
Question I had, and I don't want to put you on the spot. With the presentation packs and the software that's being introduced, the timing would be the same. Now that we've gotten to this point, that you would be implementing a system with your staff at the same time that you might be bringing a consultant in to do this audit. How would you see that impacting operation, your ability to get everything done?
Their strength's pretty thin right now. I mean, I'm trying to do three people's jobs, so, yeah, that's why I'm asking for chief strength.
Yeah.
And I also, no offense, no disrespect, when you were saying, to get well, I can't hold them, I can hold them. Because, with Larry, I hold on, doing research as a retired city manager, I want to know what I'm walking into before I walk into it. So I would love to have that audit before I come in, not be doing the audit, not saying you do the audit per se. But from your perspective, how do you impact the role as your member? Do you see an advantage to doing, starting with recruitment law, audits, and what?
Absolutely. I would want to go into, I would want to be a part of this.
That company that's going to audit the company for Denton, would you ask him a question for me? Ask him if Denton, ISD passed their audit, because Denton, ISD is currently in a lawsuit where they hold over 60,000 homeowners out of the system, put it through QuickBooks, and put it back into their system, elevated all the taxation. And that is a record of law right now. So I want to know if this company approved, if they approved debt and said everything was okay, I'm not too good.
I'll tell you, I asked that very specifically. And he said, well, you may not want to hire me, but they failed.
Good.
He said, if you fail, we're going to pay you. I'm going to pay you, sure. And that county failed, that's what we put it before.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, so, thank you for the, we should talk this as like, on the timing of putting out the RFP to hire a chief appraiser, because if it were possible to have a chief appraiser come on board at the same time that the audit work was happening, then there would be, other need for some work. Like, and she's got this, we talked to her all the time, at the same time, so we another set of eyes and ears and a person with credentials.
Well, I don't want this to lock us in this way, but this same company does recruitment for corporations.
And he told you how much they
I
charge?
I didn't know how much you charge per month.
I didn't tell you.
What? Well, you do it now.
I want to research the agency.
Yeah.
I charge you more than you would.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I got to listen on your phone calls.
Yeah. I get that info because the guy lives in Allen, Texas, where I live my whole life.
Oh,
Okay.
that's what I'm feeling around here.
I didn't know. It's just that once you say, that's my family.
Okay. Anything else? All right. Next item, discuss opening a tech school account. Amy, I read through some of the tech school stuff. I am totally confused. So
investment policy allows for us to use this avenue, and it would, in my recommendation, would be a place to put our excess funds, not our operating, not our day-to-day operating funds, because you would have to transfer out of our current bank, and you have to transfer over to the tax pool account. But the tax pool, avenue is a very safe avenue, a lot of public entities use it, to maximize their return on their cash that's parked in your house. So, for example, currently, I think the yield right now is like 4.18%. In the bank, I did not have a chance to get the current minimum rate in Cynthia right now, but I know it's much less than the 4.18%. Oh, the money market rate.
That's what we were doing.
On the CD, yeah, the CD is the CD matures, which is like $3 billion, correct? The CD.
We put 1 million in.
It's 1 million.
Yeah, right now,
Yes.
1,027,072.
They gave us a real good rate when we put it in, but then it was an automatic renewal, so we didn't get notifications. The board did not receive notification on the time, so we were sure, and then, and because of our timing of our meetings, it just went in. So it's every time it goes on, we but we are allowed to do this, and so that's why I wanted this to look into it. I don't know if are we allowed, is our wording proper that we would be able to take action on this?
Unfortunately, it is listed as a discussion item, but I see no problem with the intent, having this one in, if necessary, the next agenda item specifically stated as action.
And my question, tax school is, does it function like a sweep account if you need funds, it's pulled back?
That is a question for tax law. We can structure it as a sweep account, but I don't know if we would want to do that or manually move money in there, and that's how I envisioned it, is that we would park a designated amount in there, and then if we need to move that back, I believe it takes 1 day or so to move it back into our account.
Is there any penalty for?
No.
Great.
We do something similar in California.
It seems like a good use of the money, you got an early return, that's the type.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I read through it and I was so excited that I called my personal wealth manager.
To see if we can get in.
And she said, that's what I do.
So only available.
Oh, yes.
So the reason I know about tech school is because in my banking career, when we were bid for public funds, tech school, the public entities would come to me as a banker and say, look, I can get this rate at tech school, I'm going to put the money over there unless you can match it, and it would force me as a banker then to go in and make that accommodation if we needed to keep those deposits.
Yeah.
So, it's just very common that we were always competing against the tech school rate for public funds.
Brandon, do you have any experience with this year finance guy?
Not this specific thing. I figured it had sweet features.
Well, and in our investment policy, does allow, there is an address that is, as an example.
I don't know if that's what we should move money overnight, but it's usually. That's a way, it sounds like prudent thing to do. 2 hour advance notice when you have call meetings. We don't have to wait for
If we could include on the April agenda the CV, because honestly, that calculus, it might be worth liquidating it and paying 1 month's bills for
My parameter is something like, if you get this sort of deal, then you have authority to act. That's sort of frame.
If the interest rate drops below where it is currently, right, something like that.
Next item on the agenda is to discuss the CD.
Oh.
I don't think we need to do that. That's sort of it. So we'll table that until our next meeting, we'll hit both of them again for action items. Non-agenda public communications. I don't have any speakers that signed up for that. So we'll pass that, now we're down to staff reports.
Yeah, we really don't have anything to report this month, everything's been going great. The only thing, April 15th will be the deadline for the business personal property rendition and the real property rendition, and then April 30th for the, agricultural use appraisal. So, and we hope to have notices mailed out around April 15th. So those are just some dates we're looking for.
Have you implemented your new timekeepers?
Yeah,
I can do a presentation next month.
Yeah.
Can you just kind of give us a little preview? Is it going well? What do you think?
It's going very well. Everybody has been using it easily. I mean, training was so easy. They only have 3 buttons to choose from, so you can't do much. It's easy. You punch in, you punch out, all from your desk, and I mean, there's no telling how much money we're gonna save on that. A lot of money on pages. So yeah, it's going good. But I can do a little presentation next month so you can kind of see it.
Plus, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal in the
John, thank you for your efforts on that too. We don't have any executive session, any reason for executive session. So the next meeting date, next month, which will be the second Thursday, which will be April 10th, and it will be second Thursday for the remainder of the year. A question?
Yes, sir. I forgot, I wanted to pass some information off. Helen called me tonight. We have a CAD board of transparency bill that her and I worked on in the beginning, and it's already been referred to committee. Senator King told me as soon as it made it committee, he was doing a companion in the Senate, so it's moving forward. It's where we're gonna let 5 of the CAD board members, they'll be elected by the public.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. All in favor?